Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Srinvatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Hrudayantasto hi Abhadrani Vidunoti Suhritsatam Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So today we are reading from Canto 4, Chapter 8, verse 57. Svechavatara charitair achintya nijamaya karisyatyuttama slokas tadhyayed hrudayam gamam. Svechavatara charitair achintya nijamaya karisyatyuttama slokas tadhyayed hrudayam gamam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. My dear Dhruva, besides worshipping the deity and chanting the mantra 3 times a day, you should meditate upon the transcendental activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in His different incarnations, as exhibited by His supreme will and personal potencies. Purport. Devotional service comprises 9 prescribed practices: hearing, chanting, remembering, worshipping, serving, offering everything to the deity, etc. Here, Dhruva Maharaja is advised not only to meditate on the form of the Lord, but to think of his transcendental pastimes in his different incarnations. Mayavadi philosophers take the incarnation of the Lord to be in the same category as the ordinary living entity. This is a great mistake. The incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not forced to act by the material nature of laws of nature. The word Svecha is used here to indicate that he appears out of his supreme will. The conditioned soul is forced to accept a particular type of body according to his karma given by the laws of material nature under the direction of Supreme Lord. But when the Lord appears, he is not forced by the dictation of material nature. He appears as he likes by his own internal potential. That is the difference. The conditioned soul accepts a particular type of body, such as the body of a hog, by his work and by the superior authority of material nature. But when the Lord appears in the incarnation of a boar, he is not the same kind of a hog as an ordinary animal. Krishna appears as Varahavatara in an expansive feature which cannot be compared to an ordinary hog. His appearance and disappearance are inconceivable to us. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly said that he appears by his own internal potency for the protection of the devotees and the annihilation of non-devotees. A devotee should always consider that Krishna does not appear as an ordinary human being or ordinary beast. His appearance as Varahamurti or a horse or a tortoise is an exhibition of his internal potency. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said, Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavati Batabihi. One should not mistake the appearance of the Lord as a human being or a beast to be the same as the birth of ordinary conditioned soul, who is forced to appear by the laws of nature, whether as animal, as a human being, or as a demigod. This kind of thinking is offensive. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has condemned the Mayavadis as offensive to the Supreme Personality of Godhead because they're thinking that the Lord and the conditioned living entities are one and the same. Narada advised Dhruva to meditate on the pastimes of the Lord, which is as good as meditation of concentrating one's mind on the form of the Lord. As meditation on any form of the Lord is valuable, so is chanting of different names of the Lord, such as Hari, Govinda, and Narayana. But in this age, we are especially advised to chant the Hare Krishna mantra as enunciated in the Shastra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. नमः ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण प्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नीति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I like to seek the blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas and thank you for giving me this an opportunity to purify myself. Please forgive me for any shortcomings. Today I will be summarizing from the lecture given by Manmohan Dasa and also Prabhupada Purport. So we are in the chapter 8 from the Canto 4, titled Dhruva Maharaja leaves the home for the forest. So we are in the section where the verses 35 to 62 are covered, where Dhruva Maharaja expresses his ambitious goal to Narada Muni, and Narada Muni, being a spiritual master, instructing him in on the process, how to attain his ambitious goal. So going back to last few verses, in the verses 53 to 54, Narada Muni gives the mantra japa and talks about the worshipping, and you know and initially he asked Dhruva Maharaj to the meditation, Ashtanga yoga, and chanting the sacred Dvadasha mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And he also talked about how to worship. And in the last couple of verses, verses 55 and 56, talks about the ingredients of his worship. One can worship the Lord offering, pure water, garlands, fruits, or whatever is available in the forest, and also especially, offering tulasi leaves, which are very, very dear to the Lord Krishna. And in the previous verse, as Prabhu explained yesterday, worship a form of the Lord made of the physical elements, and and also, Lord is satisfied simply, offering whatever is available in the forest, and one can satisfy with the simply eating, fruits and vegetables which are available in the forest where Dhruva Maharaj is doing this meditation or this worship. So a lot of times Mayavadis, uh, condemn or criticize the devotees, is the Lord is only in the Vigraha, or in Lord is only here or there, but they don't understand, or sometimes they contradict themselves. A lot of these Mayavadis have their own picture, their own family, they have their parents' picture or son's picture or daughter pictures, and because they want to remember or they want to see their loved ones in the picture. When it comes to the God, they don't believe it. So because Lord is Supreme Personality of Godhead, and if you like your pictures, your parents' pictures, you keep them on the wall, and they don't in the same way they don't accept Lord has a form, and we use the Lord form to meditate upon Him, remember Him, and glorify Him, and also bring our concentration onto the Lord. So, and also also it is a archa vigraha, not just a idol. It's a deity. Deity is the archa vigraha. When deity is installed, and with the invocations, prayers, and all, we can see the Lord in the archa vigraha form, which can be used to do the worshipping. And coming to the current present verse, Dhruva Maharaja was being told by Narada Muni that beside worshipping the deity, chanting the mantra thrice a day, you should meditate upon the transcendental activities of Supreme Personality of Godhead and is in different incarnations. So Prabhupada here talk about three topics, summarizes in three topics in the purport. First he talks about the devotional service, 9 angas of devotional service, and then he touches upon the incarnation of the Lord, and lastly he talks about the meditation. So coming to the first part, devotional service, there are 9 angas of devotional service, and devotees who perfected the life uh, by just performing one anga of this devotional service, and this devotional service is the means as well as goal. Uh, so in the Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prahlad Maharaj says in the Canto 7, Chapter 5, it takes 23 to 24, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, and Sakyam, Atmanivodanam. So here, by practicing any of these 9 devotional service, with sincerely, one can attain the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here, for each of these 9 processes, there we have a great examples. And if you look at the hearing, which is Sravanam, Maharaja Parikshit, the last 7 days of his life, he constantly heard the Srimad Bhagavatam. And next is Kirtanam, chanting. Sukadeva Goswami spoke the Bhagavatam to Maharaj Parikshit, and he perfected his life. And Vishnu Smaranam, by remembrance. Prahlad Maharaj never forget Krishna, despite his constant tortures from his father Hiranyakashipu. Then coming to Pada Sevanam, serving the Lord's lotus feet, Goddess Lakshmi, goddess of fortune, who is always engaged in serving the lotus feet of the Lord. And for the Archanam, the deity worship example is Maharaj Prudu Maharaj, and he used all his royal possession in order to offer them to the pure in the pure devotion of the Lord. Vandanam, prayers, praying, Akrura offered the prayers to Krishna when he was traveling to Vrindavana in order to see the Krishna. And Dasyam, executing the orders, the Hanuman, the intimate servant of Ramachandra, executed all of Sri Ramachandra's order despite of all kinds of difficulties he has faced. And Sakyam, serving as a friend, Bhagavad Gita, we heard Arjuna was so close to Krishna that the Lord offered himself to become his chariot driver and serve the Arjuna and his brothers in various ways. And last one is Atma Nivedana, ninth one, complete surrender. Bali Maharaja gave Sri Vamanadeva his entire kingdom and his possessions as well as his own body, although his own spiritual master was against it. So, we have that wonderful kirtan by Govindadasa. Brajahuremana, he says like Stravana Kirtana Smarana Vandana Pada Sevana Dasyare Pujana Sakijana Atma Nivedana Govinda Dasa Abhilashare. It is the desire and great longing of Govinda Dasa to engage himself in the 9 process of bhakti. So one who can engage in any of these 9 processes sincerely, or one of them or most of them, we can able to attain the Supreme Personality of Godhead in this lifetime. And and in the next section, Prabhupada was talking about the Lord's incarnation. So here, as humans, we don't choose our body, where to born and how we born, and it's all because of our past karma and material nature. We have to take the birth is given to us based on our past karma. Whereas here, Lord, his word is used like a swecha is used here to indicate that Krishna appears out of his own supreme will, and his appearance and disappearance are inconceivable to us. And in Bhagavad Gita, Supreme Personality Godhead Krishna claims that there is nothing superior to him. He claims that he is the source of all spiritual and material worlds, and also that everything emanates from him, and he is the seed giving father of all who take birth in this material world, and the material nature is working under his direction only. And he claims that he is also the time. So why he appears? So Lord appears, out of his own mercy. You know, um, you know. Uh, but what happens if Krishna doesn't appear? Then there will be more mental speculation, mental concoction, anarchy, and a lot of chaos created by demoniac people. So that's why Lord appears whenever the devotees are in the distress, or to protect from the demoniac or destruction. So in the purport, Prabhupada is talking about Lord's Varaha Avtara. He took a form of Varaha Avtara, but his activities proves that he's not a ordinary person. And when he, in that Avatara, when he roars, everybody in the all the worlds, three worlds knows that, demigods knows that, this Varahavtara is not a ordinary, and it is a supreme personality of Godhead took that Avtara to protect. And even the Lord appearance in Varahamurti, or in a horse or tortoise, is an exhibition of his own, his internal potency. And Lord appears, it is his own will, and for the protection of the devotees. And also, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that fools are the ones who derides him. So, only devotees can understand what Krishna is, and connect with the Lord. And all this Mayavadi and non-devotees, for them it appears like, is it a very normal thing, or it's like Lord is like another person, or sometimes they don't even know what Lord is. And the third part, Prabhupada talks about meditation, meditating upon the pastime of the Lord. And mantra is also non-different from the form of the Krishna. And one would chant sincerely and can capture the Krishna in their heart. And in the age of Kali, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in the age of Kali to give us a holy name, and uh, to spread the Krishna consciousness, or bring the Sankirtana movement, so that we can have the Bhagavata culture. And in the as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in the Adi Leela, as it's been told, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam, kalau nastaiva gatiranyata. So in the age of Kali, only chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is itself is enough, as long as we sincerely chant and surrender to the Krishna. And with our sincere prayers, one can go back home to Godhead. So in the summary, in this verse, Dhruva Maharaja was advising, Dhruva Maharaja was advised by Narada Muni not only meditate on the form of the Lord, but also think of his transcendental pastimes and his different incarnations. And also meditate upon the pastime of the Lord. And God appears on his own will, and his appearance and disappearance are inconceivable to us. So in the coming verses, Narada Muni gives more instruction to Dhruva Maharaj, and also tell about the results of the worship and how to achieve the special liberation. So there are many more verses, describe about those instructions. And please forgive me for any shortcomings. And Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Kam Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Krupa